What's up? It's Cinema Shogun here, and it looks like we have potentially a really big problem on our hands. You see, this week, there was a train traveling from Wyoming to California. Now, one of the cars on this train was carrying 30 tons of explosive chemicals. But, ladies and gentlemen, it just so happens that 60,000 pounds of explosive chemicals just vanished on the trip from Wyoming to California. And they don't have any explanation as to what's going on. They don't know where it went. They want us to believe that 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate, an explosive material, they want us to believe that it just up and disappeared on this train's journey from Wyoming to California. Now, we've been talking a lot about these trains and the chemicals they carry lately. You know, there's a lot of trains derailing and chemical spills all over the place. But I hadn't heard of something like this yet, where 60,000 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, goes missing. How? How does that happen? And how do you not have any evidence of where this went? It makes me feel like there's more to this story. It really does, because it doesn't make sense. One of the explanations that they're throwing out there, one of the excuses, is that, oh, maybe it just spilled out of the car on the way. But here's my thing. You know the exact route that this train took. All you have to do is go along the train tracks, and I'm sure you would find evidence of over 60,000 pounds of explosive materials just mysteriously pouring out of your train by itself. Something weird is going on here. And hopefully we can get to the bottom of it. But I don't know, folks. Let's go ahead and dive into this and find out what's going on. 30 tons of ammonium nitrate, a powerful explosive, vanished on a 2-week rail shipment from Wyoming to California. A rail car laden with the chemical left an explosives plant in Cheyenne on April 12th. But on arrival in Salt Dale, an old mining town in the Mojave Desert, the cargo was gone. Manufacturer Dyno Nobel informed the National Response Center that the product was missing. The firm makes explosives for a variety of applications, including mining, construction, and oil and gas exploration. Ammonium nitrate, which can also be used as a fertilizer, is notorious for its use in various attacks, such as the Oklahoma City bombing, which left over 168 people dead in 1995. A large amount of the material exploded in the port of Beirut in August 2020, unaliving over 281 people and injuring around 7,000 others. So this material that can also be used as a fertilizer is a very common material that people use to carry out a lot of heinous actions. Let's just say that. We can't really go into detail about all of that here on, this platform, which sucks because I would like to talk about the various other ways that people have used this against other people in the past. It's really horrific. But the excuses they're rolling with, they've come up with 2 excuses. One is that, oh, this stuff must have spilt out along the way, although they've shown no evidence of that. And if that's the case, they could easily find out if that happened. All they would have to do was go along the tracks, of the path this train took. Also, they're saying, oh, well, maybe it's a possibility that these chemicals never even made it to the train. That maybe we accidentally registered the train as having a car on, attached to the train that's carrying 60,000 pounds of explosive materials. Maybe that was an accident, and maybe the 60,000 pounds of explosives actually, winded up somewhere else. So neither one of those excuses is believable to me. You want me to believe that you misplaced 60,000 pounds of this stuff? You just misplaced it? And then, it really lets me know that, you're not even trying, because your first excuse was, it must have poured out on the journey. And now you're like, well, we don't even know if we ever put it on the train. Nah, there's something up here. There's something really weird about this story. Why is all of this stuff missing? I don't think that this is a case of someone coming and stealing all of this stuff. I think you would have to have a pretty big operation. You'd have to have a lot of money behind you, maybe even government backing, to just come and steal 60,000 pounds of this stuff out of a train, along its journey from Wyoming to California. It does not make sense in the least bit. Now, where is this stuff, and what is it going to be used for? I would have to believe that if we got 60,000 pounds of this stuff missing, it's really scary to me. It is really, really scary. Because 60,000 pounds, 60,000 pounds of this stuff does not just vanish into thin air. Who has this? What is it going to be used for? That's the dots that we need to connect, because this is very worrisome, especially considering the ways in which these chemicals have been used in the past. They are very popular and very commonly used by people who want to do evil things. And the fact that they're not even making a big deal about it, that's another thing. They're like in damage control mode. There's nothing to worry about, folks. We don't think there's any foul play or anything involved here. We don't think anyone's stolen it. It either spilled out, or we don't know what happened to it. Maybe we forgot to load it on the train. We don't have any evidence of that. We don't have any documentation showing that we may have forgotten it. In fact, we have documentation showing that all of these chemicals were on board the train when the train took off. But hey, don't worry about that. Just, turn around and pretend like you never heard about the story. That's basically what's happening here. Now, when I take a step back and I look at the bigger picture and I look at other things that are happening this week, that's when I really grow concerned. Because we have all within this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have 60,000 pounds of these explosive chemicals missing. Just yesterday, there was about 6 to 7 minutes of pure panic when the mainstream media and various media outlets around the world accidentally used a fake photo, a AI-generated photograph that depicted an explosion at the Pentagon, right? So yesterday there was a panic that there was an attack on the Pentagon, and it winded up being, a false flag, random prank, or whatever. So that's weird. We have that happening this week. We have 60,000 pounds of explosives missing. And now the story I brought you earlier today, where they just issued 50 senators new satellite phones in case of an attack. I don't know. I'm not saying that all of these things are connected. They're more than likely not connected. But those are 3 interesting situations, all happening within the span of 3 days. Within the last few days, all of this stuff has gone down. And that's really making me, kind of worried. Because, like I said, like I tell you all the time, when there's one of these weird news stories in isolation, it doesn't make you think too much. But then when you got all of this piling up on top of each other, and it kind of feels like some of them can be related, it's like, whoa. What is really going on here? Is there something planned? Why isn't there a bigger deal? Why isn't there a bigger fuss being made right now? that we have 60,000 pounds of explosives missing that could be in the hands of anyone at this point. Because the rail company's playing stupid, like they have no effing clue what's going on. Either it's spilled out or we forgot to put it on the train. We don't have it here no more, but we don't know where it's at. It's like, yeah, that's a brain dead excuse. What in the heck is going on? You know, I wish I had more information for you all, but I do not. This is all of the information they've released so far. I'm sure they know more, but they're not saying anything else. I'm going to continue looking into this story and letting you all know whatever updates I find. But for now, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.